3 मिनट प्रोग्राम के 3 मोटोज हैं, यानी 3 उद्देश्य, 3 ऑब्जेक्ट। फर्स्टली कि आपको किसी विषय पर 3 मिनट में क्या बताना है, घर में काम करने का एक अपॉर्चुनिटी होता है, एक अवसर होता है। इसी बहाने आप किसी विषय विशेष पर एक डीपली स्टडी करते हैं, उसमें से कुछ फैक्ट और कंसेप्ट लेते हैं और उसको बताना है चूंकि, तो उसको प्रेजेंटेशन को भी तैयार करते हैं। तो एक प्रकार से रिसर्च बेस्ड जो है वर्क करते हैं आप, पहला फायदा ये होगा। दूसरा, जब आप उसको प्रेजेंट करते हैं, बताने आते हैं, तो आपके अंदर एक प्रकार से होता है कि क्लास में बैठ करके सुनना, अब आज उसी क्लास को एड्रेस करना। तो आपकी पर्सनालिटी में, आपकी बातचीत में, आपको बात कहने में, प्रेजेंट करने में, मतलब जो एक मौका है, वह अपॉर्चुनिटी, वह अवसर भी इसमें छुपा है। तीसरा जो पक्ष है इसका, वो ये है कि आपके जितने भी एग्जाम्स होंगे, चाहे इंटरव्यू हो या कहीं सेमिनार में जा रहे हो, किसी कॉन्फ्रेंस में गए हो, तो आपका जो मंच का फोबिया होता है, हम जाके क्या बोलेंगे, मंच पे जाके पता नहीं कैसा फील होगा, एक जो अंदर हेजिटेशन है, डर है, वह दूर होता है। अब जरा समझ लीजिए कि अगर आपको रिसर्च बेस्ड काम करने आने लगा, आप एड्रेस करना कम ज़्यादा आपको आने लगा, हेजिटेशन और इस तरीके के प्रॉब्लम्स से आप निपट लिए, तो पर्सनालिटी के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू लगता है पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट, तो आफ्टर ऑल ये उसी का एक सेगमेंट का काम करता है। नॉलेज का नॉलेज हुआ, कहते हैं ना कि आम के आम मिले और गुठलियों को भी दाम मिले। और लास्ट में कोई जरूरी नहीं है कि ये बात लागू हो, आपको यह भी पता चल जाता है कि 2.5 घंटे यहाँ कैसे पढ़ाते हैं। 3 घंटे में ही आपके एड़ी का पसीना सर पे चढ़ने लगता है। वहां से बैठ कर सुनना कितना आसान है, यहाँ से बोलना कितना कठिन है, इसकी भी जानकारी आपको यहीं से हो जाती है। ठीक है, ये मतलब एसेसरीज थी। इन जानकारियों के अलावा ये भी होता है।
Very good morning, sir. A very good morning to all. My name is Prachi Dasmana, and as we all know that today we are gathered here for our as usual 3-minute program. So for this, my topic is 2023 WordPress Freedom Index. So basically, WordPress Freedom Index is to compare the level of press freedom among the freedom enjoyed by media among the 180 countries and territories in the previous year calendar. According to the latest report released by Global Media Watchdog Reporters and Watchdog Reporter Without Borders (RSF), India's ranking in 2023 WordPress Freedom Index has slipped to 161 out of 180 countries. In comparison, Pakistan has fared better when it has come to media freedom. It has placed at 150 as an improvement from last year's 157th rank. In 2022, India was ranked at 150, while in 2023 it was ranked at 161. Sri Lanka also made significant improvement in the index, as it was placed in 2020 from 35th rank, and in 2023 it has ranked in 146th. Norway, Ireland and Denmark occupied the top 3 positions in the press freedom, while Vietnam, China and North Korea occupied bottom 3. The RSF defines press freedom as the ability of journalists as individuals and collectives to select, produce and disseminate news in the public interest, independent of political, economic, legal and social interference, and in the absence of threats to their physical and mental safety. Thank you.
Good morning all of you. I am Prachi Maurya. Today present a topic of G20 Summit. In 18th edition of G20 Summit is being held in India. There are two topics: internationally themes and nationally themes. One internationally theme, one Earth, one family, one future, and other national theme is Vasudevam Kutumbakam. Is being held and organized in India. Indonesia has chaired the G20 summit in 2022. No headquarters of G20 located. George W. Bush presided over the first meeting of the G20 summit. First G20 summit was held in 14 or 15 November of 2008. G20 group was established in 1999. 19 countries and 1 European Union are the members of the G20. The first meeting of G20 internationally financial structure working group has been held in Chandigarh in India. Brazil will preside over the 19 editions of the G20 summit in 2024. First Women 20 W20 meeting 2003 was under G20 chairmanship was held in Maharashtra in India. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss the power tussle between the central government and the National Capital Territory of Delhi. As you all know that Delhi and Puducherry are the two only union territories of India that have a legislative assembly. After independence in 1952, the government of India introduced a legislative assembly in Delhi, after which the CM was started being elected. The first CM was Chaudhry Brahm Prakash, but in 1956, after the State Reorganization Act was introduced, the Legislative Assembly of the state was abolished and the CM rule came to an end. And Delhi became a fully controlled by the center. Then in 1991, after the 69th Constitution Amendment Act was introduced, Delhi was again made a UT and the CM rule again started. Delhi had the power to make laws on basic issues except land, police and public order, which were in the hands of LG. LG means the Lieutenant Governor, which is appointed by the President. In 2015, the Home Ministry said that Delhi shall exercise the power of land and governor. It was challenged in High Court, and in 2017, Delhi High Court said that LG is not bound to obey the Council of Ministers of Delhi. In 2018, it was challenged in Supreme Court, and Supreme Court said that LG is bound to obey the Council of Ministers. Then in April 2021, the central government passed the Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Bill, which said that government in Delhi government means LG, which was challenged in Supreme Court again by the Delhi government. The Supreme Court on 11th May 2023 said that elected government of Delhi legislature will have more power including the services, and LG will work on as per the aid and advice of Council of Ministers. Finally, the Delhi government has some useful powers. Thank you and have a nice day.
Good morning to everyone present over here. This is Vidushi Barthwal standing before you all to present my thoughts on the view higher oil prices. So, in many cities in India, the prices of petrol in Mumbai is 111 rupees per litre, while in Kolkata it is 106 rupees per litre, which is quite high, but we don't have to worry about it. In today's time, our country uses a dynamic price system to regulate the price of petrol and diesel. The way crude oil fluctuates in the global market, it fluctuates in our country simultaneously. But historically, it wasn't so, as the price of petrol and diesel were decided by the government only. But the main problem arises was there was a much pressure on the earlier government to sell the petrol petrol on lesser price. So in 2010, Dr. Manmohan Singh government regulated the price of petrol, and on 2014, our current government deregulated the price of diesel. System was such that the price of petrol and diesel used to change was on the 1st and 16th day of a month, according to the global market. This is to say that the price used to remain constant for around 15 days. But on 16 July 2017, the government introduced a new scheme to regulate the price daily around 6 o'clock in the morning. But now it is simply one-sided regulation. As the crude price increases, the petrol price increases and we have to pay more. While if the crude price decreases, the taxation increases and again we have to pay more. So there is not a much difference. Let's take the case of our state's Uttarakhand. The price charged to dealer is 57.65 rupees per litre, while the excise duty is 19.90 rupees per litre. The average dealer commission is 1.51 rupees per litre, and the VAT, that is value added tax, is 16.82 rupees per litre. So this comes out to be a retail price of 95.58 rupees per litre. As compared to the other countries, the petrol price in India is quite high, as in Russia it is 95 rupees per litre and in USA it is 82.5 rupees per litre, while in Germany it is 115 and in Hong Kong it is 144.25 rupees per litre, which are quite high for them as well. But the point to consider is that average income of the people living on the developing countries or the developed countries rather than India are much high. So the kind of purchasing power is also high. Thank you.
गुड मॉर्निंग ऑल ऑफ यू. मेरा नाम तरुणेश चौहान है. आज का मेरा टॉपिक है G20. G20 होता है 20 देशों का समूह बोलते हैं इसको, और इसकी सबसे पहले शुरुआत 9 दिसंबर जर्मनी से हुई है. और इसको G20 दुनिया की 20 सबसे बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्थाओं का समूह है जो वैश्विक अर्थव्यवस्था की दिशा और दशा को तय करता है. G20 शिखर सम्मेलन के दौरान वैश्विक अर्थव्यवस्था के एजेंट तय किए जाते हैं. इसमें दुनिया की शीर्ष 19 अर्थव्यवस्था वाले देश एवं यूरोपियन संघ भी शामिल होते हैं, और दुनिया भर का 85% कारोबार इन्हीं 20 देशों में ही होता है. G20 को ग्रुप ऑफ 20 इंग्लिश में कहा जाता है, और यह यूरोपियन यूनियन एवं 19 देशों का एक अनौपचारिक समूह भी कहा जाता है. और इसकी शुरुआत 9 दिसंबर 1999 में हुई थी. जर्मनी की राजधानी बर्लिन से शुरुआत हुई थी. इसके बाद ये निश्चय हुआ कि साल में एक बार G20 करवाया जाए, और इसमें राष्ट्र के नेताओं की बैठक की जाएगी. साल 2008 में अमेरिका की राजधानी वॉशिंगटन में इसका आयोजन किया गया. वहीं G20 में अर्जेंटीना, हमारे 20 देश होते हैं, 19 देश और यूरोपियन संघ देश भी होते हैं. जैसे G20 में अर्जेंटीना, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, ब्राज़ील, कनाडा, मैक्सिको, फ्रांस, जर्मनी, भारत, इंडोनेशिया, इटली, जापान और मैक्सिको, रूस, सऊदी अरब, दक्षिण कोरिया, दक्षिण अफ्रीका, तुर्की, यूनाइटेड किंगडम और संयुक्त राज्य अमेरिका भी शामिल है. इस साल भारत G20 की अध्यक्षता ग्रहण कर रहा है. सरकार के स्तर पर अगला G20 नेताओं का शिखर सम्मेलन 9 और 10 सितंबर को 2023 को नई दिल्ली में आयोजित होना है. जो अभी 9 और 10 सितंबर आएगी उसमें आयोजित होना है. भारत के सामने इसे लेकर कठिन चुनौतियां हैं, जैसे समावेशी, न्याय संगत और सतत विकास, महिला सशक्तिकरण, डिजिटल, सार्वजनिक बुनियादी ढांचा और तकनीकी सक्षम विकास, जलवायु, वित्त पोषण, वैश्विक खाद्य सुरक्षा और ऊर्जा, ऐसे कई इसमें शामिल है. अब 2024 में जो अगले साल होना है G20, वो ब्राजील में होना है. थैंक यू.
Good morning to one and all present over here, respected sir and my dear friends. I am Mehak, standing in front of you to speak on the topic New United Nations Study. India is among the top 10 countries in the world that makes up and impacted 60% of maternal death rate, newborn death rate and stillbirth. On the other hand, it makes up 51% of live birth globally. This is a fresh report which is released from the United Nations study. The latest published estimated by the Progress Tracking Report by the WHO, UNICEF, UNFPA, and this is launched from the International Maternal Newborn Health Conference, that is IMNHC 2023. It shows that there is a combine of 4.5 million deaths in 2020 to 21. Maternal death is 0.29 million, stillbirth is 1.9 million, and newborn death is 2.3 million so far. WHO also says that India is among the top 5 nations with the highest number of preterm birth, and this conference was started from 8th of May this year. At last, if we wish to see different types of results and good production, we have to work hard and do things separately. More and smarter investment should be there, especially on our healthcare sector, because this is an utmost sector for our nation, and government has to work harder. As we all know, government lacks productivity, so they have to work hardest on this, otherwise we will suffer a lot. Thank you.